Hey, welcome back to my channel, Epiphany Me TV. I'm Epiphany Me Jazz, or also known as Dr. Jazz. And here on my channel, I like to talk about, lifestyle, personal growth and development, whatever I'm pulled to. So if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit subscribe. But I'm coming to you all with another quick message. And so I recently posted on Instagram about what's in a name. And so it was an overall recap of where Epiphany Me has come from. So if you don't know, I started Epiphany Me back in 2020. And so I did like a quick recap of like how much I've grown since 2020 up until now, and what comes in a name and what Epiphany Me means, and living life poetically. And so kind of piggybacking off of that, a name. We all know names carry weight. Names carry legacy. You might hear a parent say, be careful what you name your child or what you call something, because it really attaches a certain legacy and a definition to it, and it kind of sticks to it. There's this popular quote, and I can't remember who is responsible for it, or I'm not sure who is responsible for it, but there's this popular quote where it says, it's not what you're called, but what you answer to. So I wanted to ask, what do you answer to? What are some social roles that you have become defined by? So again, I've mentioned before, I'm an assistant professor of psychology. And so one of the courses that I've taught before is social psychology. And within that course, we talk about social roles and how we become to adopt them, and how sometimes they can be self-defined, or roles that we have that people have bestowed upon us or just ascribed to us through the years. So ask yourself, what are some social roles that have become to define you? Are they roles that you agree with? Are they roles that, fit your self definition? Or are they roles that you feel like you just kind of had to abide by or become, accustomed to? This is what I'm known for. And so, I'm going to ascribe to this role. And so the reason why I'm asking this is because it's important to know, what is it that you're called by? Because a lot of the times we'll be called by or define ourselves by these roles that we don't even know why they're attached to us, or we may not even really agree with it. So think about, some titles or social roles that have been attached to you, whether like you're the mother or the responsible one, or roles that you might not even have agreed to. For the longest time, before I completed my PhD, which is in educational psychology, before I completed that, while I was in my doctoral program, one of the things that would really get under my skin is when people in my family or friends or whoever would introduce me as, hey, this is Jasmine, this is so and so, she's in a doctoral program, she's working towards her PhD. Like, they would automatically introduce me first by that. It's definitely something to be proud of. And of course, I'm proud of it. And I was proud then. But I knew then I didn't want that to be the way I self define. That's not how I introduce myself. I'm not just defined by my accolades. So that's why I'm asking, what's in a name? Do you let your accolades define you? Do you let your bank account define you? Do you let material possessions or what have you, or whatever it is? But think about what defines you, because if you don't know, or if you're not aware of it, you'll be defined by these things that you may not even agree to, or that you're not even aware of. You could be walking around with these social roles and titles that you're not even acknowledging or aware of. You could be walking around being self defined by these roles and titles that other people have placed upon you, and you don't even agree with it. So that's why I say, what's in a name? Know who you are, what defines you, what are the social roles you want to occupy. Of course, there are things that have become bestowed upon us that may actually highlight qualities and characteristics of us, but just make sure it's something that you're in agreement with, and also not letting those certain things only define you. Like, know what it is that you want to define your character, what do you want to define your legacy or who you are. Again, like I said, of course, I'm proud of my academic accolades. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and I'm extremely proud of myself for completing them. But again, that's not all what defines me. I'm a creative, I'm a daughter, I'm an empath, I'm a great listener, I'm silly, I'm witty. There are so many other things that define who I am. And so I just wanted to come with this message today. What defines you? What's in a name? What roles do you occupy? How do you self define? Okay, so that is my message for today. Let me know your thoughts below around this topic, and please share, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.